Hello, my name is David Shapiro. I'm a state-based criminal defense attorney, and today I'd like to discuss with you cases and allegations involving child pornography. Generally speaking, child pornography is covered by California Penal Code Section 311, and then there's some 311.1, 311.4, those types of things. More often than not, in the last couple of years, we've seen these cases be prosecuted federally, and they've been prosecuted federally for a number of reasons, not the least of which because a lot of times with child pornography charges and allegations, the images are being distributed internationally. The images are being distributed interstate within multiple states and within multiple counties. So a lot of times the feds pick up these cases where the states in the past, at least when I first started practicing in 2007, 2008, we were dealing with a lot more on the state ends. But generally speaking, these are federal crimes. They could also be charged in state cases, but for the most part, charged federally. They're also charged federally because the punishments could be significantly greater than if you were charged in the state case. Specifically in federal, there's enhancements for number of images. There's enhancements for the use of a computer, which I always found interesting. You get 2 points added to your criminal assessment score in federal court if you use the computer. So I don't know in this day and age in 2015 how you would possibly view child pornography not on a computer unless you, I guess, had a still image or a Polaroid or something along those lines. But the feds and the states are definitely cracking down on these types of cases. We see a lot of times these stings, where law enforcement may be posing as a minor and maybe sending certain images or soliciting images to be transmitted over the internet via email. And then usually how this works is, one person gets in trouble, and we even saw this, I think, recently with Jared from Subway, where one person gets arrested, and then next thing you know, they start giving up other people that might be part of that network, that online community, where they share images. And federally speaking, too, as far as videos go, you end up getting hammered at sentencing if you have videos because they break those down and convert them to an exorbitant amount of images. So, again, very, very serious charges. But again, if you keep your mouth closed, don't give them a case where there might not be one. The easiest example is if something's found on a computer, on a cellular device, whatever, iPad, whatever, it still needs to prove that you had the knowledge that those items were there and that you had possession of those items. So, if you say, yeah, this is my computer and no one else had access to it, well, what have you done? You just ruled out that defense that you didn't know about it or that someone could have planted it on there. The use of experts in child pornography cases, if the client keeps their mouth closed, is essential a lot of times because you could do a real analysis, a good forensic analysis on a computer to determine the number of images, where those images came from, when those images were downloaded, uploaded, what have you. And a lot of times you could have some success in proving that the person that you represent wasn't around or didn't have access to the computer during the time those images were uploaded. So, keep your mouth closed, hire a good attorney, start saving some money, not even necessarily for the attorney, but for the experts in cases like these. And, you put yourself in a decent position because the laws are getting worse and worse and worse year in, year out.